the chair. These designs look simple, but in fact they're highly complex. No other object looms so large in aesthetic terms and plays such a big role in our everyday lives. It often takes years before a prototype is ready to go into mass production. And even then, it's far from certain whether it'll become popular. Expert Matteo Kries regards chairs as the real test for a designer.
Designing chairs is always a bit like reconstructing human anatomy, and that, of course, makes the chair into a design object par excellence. So if you can design a chair, you can usually design almost anything else.
Classical chair design goes back to the 19th century. Tonet brought out chair number 14, also known as the bistro chair, in 1859. It remains one of Germany's most successful industrial products. The use of steel tubing in furnitures was the next design revolution. In the 1920s, Bauhaus designers experimented with the new material and came up with the first cantilever chair. Marcel Breuer's S32 emerged on the market between 1929 and 1930.
Marcel Breuer's cantilever chair is so successful because it really combines two ideas. The cantilever design is made from a single piece of tubular steel. That means that the chair has no back legs. And at the same time, Breuer combines this very new material with a 19th century element, a seat and back made of woven cane.
Many pieces of furniture that are now revered as design classics were way ahead of their time. The 1950s saw the rise of molded plywood chairs. Molded fiberglass and plastic soon followed. The Pantone Chair was the first made from a single piece of plastic. Danish designer Werner Pantone experimented for 10 years before it went into mass production in 1967.
The chair was developed over many years. There were numerous prototypes that didn't work, either for production reasons or because of problems with statics. The development of this degree of simplicity is sometimes much more complex than it is with a piece that looks much more complicated. And that's what is not apparent when you look at certain design icons, the detailed work that has gone into achieving this ultimate simplicity.
The designs of the 1960s and 70s were characterized by this desire to experiment. But few are so timeless that they're still produced today.
After 5 or 6 years, you tend to notice something that you don't like about an object, or you notice that it's too dated. While these big hits have this matter-of-factness that enables them to fit in 20 or 30 years later.
From the 1980s onwards, the boundaries between art and design began to dissolve.
Design is not even about continually recreating things. It's about improving individual things and developing the ideas behind them.
In 2004, Konstantin Grcic designed Chair 1. It resembles a three-dimensional technical drawing.
Chair 1 by Grcic is one of the most recent designs that you could already describe as a classic. It's because he's managed to lend an almost iconic form to a certain design trend of the last 10 or 15 years, namely the influence of computers on furniture design.
Few other pieces of furniture have become iconic to the degree that chairs have. And sometimes, whether they're comfortable or not, is not the deciding factor.